Now head back to North America, and in a highly charged 4th of July ceremony, President Donald Trump signed into law a sweeping package of tax and spending cuts, a major legislative win for him in his second term. Speaking on the White House South Lawn, Trump celebrated the bill as the biggest tax cut, biggest spending cut, and largest border security investment in American history. The event featured flyovers by US military jets and a cheering crowd of supporters.
Air Force Base in Missouri, home of the B-2 bomber. We're going to make official the greatest victory yet when I signed the one big, beautiful bill. We have officially made the Trump tax cuts permanent. That's the largest tax cut in the history of our country, added to substantial other cuts, which is you're going to see like a rocket ship. You know, we're setting all sorts of economic records right now, and that's before this kicks in. After this kicks in, our country is going to be a rocket ship economically, and we've heard no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on Social Security for our great seniors. You have been unbelievable. You think it's easy being First Lady? It's not. Thank you all very much. Happy 4th of July. God bless you all. Thank you very much, everybody.
Well, the legislation permanently locks in Trump's 2017 tax cuts, slashes federal spending and funds an aggressive immigration crackdown. But it's also expected to strip healthcare coverage from millions and push the national debt up by over $3 trillion. The Republican-controlled House narrowly passed the bill 218 to 214 after a fiery debate. All Democrats voted against it, joined by 2 Republicans. Democrat leader Hakeem Jeffries spoke for nearly 9 hours in opposition, calling it a giveaway to billionaires. Democrats warn the law could cost Republicans control of Congress in 2026, but Trump dismissed the criticism, saying the bill will boost jobs, strengthen the military, and puts Americans first. Well, joining us to discuss this bill becoming law is Jim Rice, a professor of international law, who's joining us from Vigan in the Philippines. Jim, as always, thank you ever so much for being here. The bill is now law, of course, passing through the Senate and then the House by slim margins. But it has come with controversy, fierce debate, fierce discussion. We've heard Trump there talking about how this bill will make America a rocket ship. Firstly, what's your opinion on the bill and how could it impact America's economy, but also the American people?
Thanks for having me on, Thomas. It was astonishing and dismaying when I was listening to your package just now. I believe I saw something this morning on BBC in which Trump was standing on the balcony over the South Lawn, and it really reminded me of the actions, the posturing of a tin pot dictator. First of all, this bill is deeply, deeply unpopular in the United States, between 20 and 30% underwater. So it does not have popular support. I'd like to speak to that later, because this has got a lot of implications for the Republican representatives and senators who passed this into law. But one of the things that struck me was Trump's overt lie when he said that there would be no tax on Social Security, which just simply isn't true. And this is really a hallmark of Trump. He just lies relentlessly, on and on and on, in the way of an authoritarian. Yes. One of the other things that I'd just like to add is the astonishing amount of money that this truly terrible bill, or law now, gives to ICE, which is Immigration and Customs Enforcement, giving up to 170 billion US dollars over 4 years, making it, on a par with some of the largest militaries in the world. This is a frightening development, and if I could, I'd like to speak about this after your comments.
Yes, Jim. Well, I did want to build on that. It's also not just the immigration spending, but also military spending. We know that there has been a big push from the US with NATO nations talking about defence spending. How do you think that that money will be utilised, not just on military, but as you've mentioned already, on the immigration? It's a key part of Trump's policy. He's spoken about millions of illegal migrants being deported from the US. How do you see that playing out now this bill has become law?
I see this as a frightening power grab. I see what Trump is doing by turning the military against American citizens. For example, 200 Marines have been deployed, I believe, in Florida to engage in catching and apprehending so-called illegals. And I really see that what Trump is doing is weakening the military, because what he's doing is he's siphoning resources away, not only from the taxpayers, but he's siphoning resources away from the military itself and turning the military against American citizens.
Yes, Jim, you will be staying with us because we're now going to look at dozens of protests which have taken